Oh, snap. Bing bong. We live, baby. We live.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
I gotta send myself that.
We live.
I need to exit to do it again.
No, you should be able to do it while you're in.
Yeah.
You'll do it live. Are you on a Mac?
No, I'm on a PC right now.
Oh, maybe you could guide Fernando.
No, Fernando has it up. His thing is just the recognition of the background. Are you on a Mac?
Who, me?
No, I'm on a PC right now.
Hold on, let me just get another one.
Telling me my computer can't do it because I don't have a green screen.
You don't need a green screen in order for you to do it. Whoever's watching the live stream, make sure it's muted.
Yeah, we're getting that double.
Wow, that doesn't even work. They all look like that.
Yeah. It's about how Zoom is recognizing your background. Like Jose said, your skin tone, you're looking like the wall right now. So,
Huh? It's pretty cool though.
It is, yeah.
It's artistic.
You look pretty trippy. That's Nando's art right there.
Does the background need to be a solid color?
It doesn't have to be, no.
Can you see what it's doing for me?
Let's see what we're doing.
Oh yeah, it's like kind of not really doing it.
Not at all.
At all, no. All right, well, it's okay.
Sometimes it bees like that.
Yeah.
Oh, that's interesting. On the live stream, it has us on the top right corner.
I just cut it then.
Christine, what do you have as your background? Oh, you're muted. Can we unmute her?
Okay, I'm gonna just do it.
Christine's definitely muted and she's definitely talking right now.
I can't unmute her. I think she needs to give me permission to unmute her. There we go.
Damn, she's back.
My background is an off-white wall.
Gotcha. But it's all solid?
Yeah.
Oh, that's kind of better.
I'm in my kitchen and I'm nowhere near solid and mine picked up.
Interesting.
So.
Interesting.
I think it's it also has to do with the camera. Our camera is nice.
I'm in my kitchen and I'm
Who's watching the live stream?
I should be watching the live stream.
But mute the live stream if you have it up because we're gonna get the lagged audio.
Yeah.
What's the link for that, Steve?
The same link.
So, for creativity /QC audio.
Yeah. Here, I'm gonna mute all of you. Yeah, that was definitely Fernando. Nope, I muted you, Fernando. Because you have another tab open that has the live stream playing somewhere. So find it, mute it, and then we shall proceed.
Come back, talk to us later.
Oh yeah, as I was playing other music, YouTube was saying, heads up, we're gonna mute you because you're playing copyrighted content.
Ooh,
so I found this other playlist that is called Stream Beats, and supposedly it's not copyrighted content.
You got that on Spotify?
It's on Spotify right now, yeah.
If you type in like free stuff like that to it, there's a bunch of playlists like that.
Yeah.
For this purpose, yeah.
Yeah, YouTube live stream, if you're doing anything copyrighted, it catches you immediately.
Yeah, their recognition is insane.
Yeah, it's insane. Like when I'll do live streams and talk about movies, like I can't play the movie clips at all with sound.
Oh,
I play it for 2 seconds, it catches it.
Wow, movies?
Yeah.
Oh,
Because I do a lot of live streams about different movies and talk about them.
Uh-huh.
I can't play them with sound.
Wow. Regardless of
Trash.
music or not, it's just any part of the movie it'll catch.
Yeah, like literally, like I've had it do it like after 2 seconds. And it depends on. I mean, it depends on the movie because
Right.
you know some companies do care a little bit more than others. Like Disney, forget about it. You know, you play a second, they'll get you.
Wow.
Older films, a little bit more difficult. But yeah, Warner Brothers is really tough about it too.
Wow.
I don't know if this is coming along in the live stream. Maybe I should be talking about that. Sorry.
Nah, that's fine. We're all creators over here trying to learn from each other, you know. So I think that
useful
definitely does work.
information.
All right. So who are we missing still? Beth, Sarah, Isanel. Is that it?
Yeah, from the artists.
From the artists.
Yeah.
From the artists. Okay.
And we'll make it happen.
Make it happen, Captain. All right, I got the live stream up. There's nothing in the chat happening. Oh, somebody's chatting in the YouTube chat already.
YouTube.
Yeah.
Matt Zimmerman. Oh, snap for Matt with the orange. Huh.
Oh, I have to create a chat. Oh, I'm not signed in on this one either. Damn it. Log out.
I literally sent calendar invites to my chapter brothers, and they're all texting me now. Like, I can't make it, but I'm donating. The reminder just popped up. This is amazing.
Yes, that's great.
Good. Yeah.
We want that.
Sorry.
Great way to say sorry for sure.
I'll take it.
Hey, welcome, Sarah.
Welcome, Sarah.
Oh, you're on mute. You're on mute.
Yeah.
We see you waving, but we can't hear you. You're on mute.
Oh my God, I love your earrings.
Still can't hear you.
Just gotta unmute yourself.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah.
I said I'm really excited.
Good. We need that energy. Need that energy. Yes.
Like, whether it's a little bit of people or a lot of people, I think this was a great accomplishment for us, you know?
Oh my goodness. Yes, I absolutely agree. I absolutely agree. And even if we're just presenting amongst ourselves, I think it's gonna be awesome. Well,
Yeah.
and because it's being recorded and live streamed, we'll be able to play it for somebody in the future.
Of
Anybody
course.
else will be able to replay it too. So.
And then, are you gonna give me the zigzag background?
It's right next to the join Zoom room button that you use to join. There's a little download button that I threw up there.
Sarah, I'm here with my friend. I'm in his house, and he says you have a pretty voice. So there you go.
Aww. Aww. So thank you to your friend. I don't know.
Yes, thank you.
She said,
Listen, you guys think I should cut this thing off because it's like doing weird things, or just keep it and just
Yeah, cut it off. I think it's all good. Yeah. You got the praise shirt on, and that's good branding right there. You know.
Okay, where is the background again?
When you go to the WeSupportCreativity.org/CQCC, right, to the join Zoom room button, there's a button that says download virtual background. Do you see it?
Okay.
And download it. And then are you on a Mac?
Yes.
Okay. Do you know how to do the virtual backgrounds on Zoom?
No.
Okay. So you're going. Let me know when you download it.
Okay.
I'm gonna post it on my Instagram.
Yes.
It's too low though.
All right. Yeah, there we go. Fernando Clean.
Yeah.
I'll put on my contacts and everything.
Oh, I saw it. I see it. Okay.
Okay, cool. So download it.
Mirror video.
And then now you're gonna go to your
Green
Zoom desktop
screen.
application, right? You're
You
gonna
don't
click,
have a green screen.
and in the top left, you're gonna click zoom.us and then click preferences.
Computer doesn't meet requirements. Your computer doesn't meet the minimum requirements to use this feature without a green screen background. Ah, okay. It's because of the requirements of my computer.
Specs.
You with me, Sarah?
That's wild. They did it the other day.
You mind bringing that down, baby? Where's my drink? Let me get a drink.
Word, I should do the same. I'll to make myself a little cocktail.
Let me know where you're at, Sarah, if you still need help.
I downloaded the picture and everything, like the background,
Cool.
but I don't know what to do from there.
Okay, so you're on a Mac, you said, right?
Yes.
Okay, so now go back to Zoom and so click the Zoom on the bottom in your bar.
Zoom.
So just to activate Zoom, okay? And then now on the top left, you see that where it says zoom.us up by the Apple icon, all the way in the top.
Oh.
Click that and then click preferences. Once you click preferences, you should have a settings menu come up. And then you'll see on the left-hand side, it says virtual background. If you click virtual background, now you have an option there's a little plus icon on the right. You click that, you click add image, and then you look for the image. It should be in your downloads folder if you just downloaded it. And then just,
Okay.
just let me know if you need me to say anything over and I'll help you out again.
Okay.
Well, let me know. I don't know if I went too fast.
No, it's okay. I'm looking for the Zoom app thing.
That should be activated all the way at the bottom bar.
Yeah,
Where your apps are. Cool.
it says zoom.us.
Okay, cool. So then,
But I click it and I just see view options. Or
There's not a drop down that says preferences.
are you
no.
clicking the zoom.us all the way at the top left of your screen?
Oh,
Yeah, click the zoom all the way up there.
oh.
Yeah, that'll give you the drop down. You'll see preferences.
I don't see the word preferences, but I see mute audio, stop video, participant, share screen.
Oh
No,
no,
you're in the wrong menu.
Oh.
All the way at the top of your screen.
Yeah, Zoom has a lot of menus.
Even if you just click the little arrow by stop video, you can upload the virtual background from there.
Ooh.
Yeah, I downloaded it, but maybe I'll get off and get back on.
There,
No, it's not necessary because then you like Christine said, by your stop video
that's even
button,
easier. Yeah.
it's easier because there's a little
That's
arrow
how I
there
do
that says
it.
choose virtual background.
To read.
Yeah. Thank you, Sarah. I mean, Christine. Thank you.
Share screen.
Nope.
No, stop
Video.
where the little camera is.
Yeah,
Okay.
the little arrow. You see the little arrow says choose
Oh
virtual.
yeah. Yes.
Click virtual back. Choose
I
virtual.
can't see that far.
And then
Oh yeah, no, yeah, it's a customer.
Beaming.
Hi Christine. Hi Jose. Hi Alex.
Yo.
Unmute.
Oh.
Hi.
That's my trademark. Just saying hi late.
thank you.
Oh, Sarah, you did it.
I see.
Yeah.
Good stuff.
Bad.
I figured out why it sucks on my computer, because it doesn't meet the requirements. It's basically saying I have an old computer.
Yeah, you need the prerequisites.
What?
Yeah, you need the requirements.
Yeah. Oh wait, this dude has another computer. Oh, yours definitely is he gonna meet it?
Wow. Threw him under the bus hard.
Word? Alright, try it out.
I am gonna try it out.
Oh, that is so weird. How do I send it to you?
Yo, Macho, next level is having them all like be seamless.
Yeah,
I was thinking the same thing when I was looking in grid view. I was like, oh, it would have been dope if they like lined up next to each other.
Oh yeah, that's crazy work.
Nah, that's
Yeah,
like
with
probably
this pattern, it would be-
impossible.
With this
It'd be
pattern,
easier.
www.
we just need straight lines.
No, it's just a website. Is there a meeting number?
Go to the website and click the join Zoom room button. That's the easiest way to do it.
Okay, this is the fastest way is the website. Yeah. How's your day going, Steve?
Going awesome. To be honest, I was trying to debug and troubleshoot a lot with this Zoom room stuff, because there's the Zoom room I got down packed, but to live stream it was very challenging. To live stream it while having a lot of control over it. So the way I'm live streaming it now is literally just through Zoom. So that's why there's a Zoom logo on the bottom right corner. Zoom is providing that service, but it's working, and we're here, and we're together, and we're about to make it happen. So.
Oh, one FYI for everybody on here: if you don't have the live stream up, you'll occasionally see one of our photos on the live stream. So if you have your camera on, even if you're not on the screen, just be careful what you're doing. Don't do anything embarrassing, like pick your nose or anything. Everybody on the live stream might see it.
That's a good call.
I literally had somebody during a meeting stand up, lift up their shirt, and like pick at their belly button and didn't.
That is nuts. Nah, that's OB.
Wait, that was by mistake or purposely?
No, by mistake. He didn't realize his camera was on.
That's funny.
No.
That's too crazy.
I heard that on the news that there was this teacher. He was giving like some classes, and on one of his tabs he had like some quarantine, and he got fired after that.
Wow.
Dang, that's crazy. All right, so
Okay, 705.
So I'm gonna
705.
try this different computer to see if it works with the background.
Fernando, I would not do that just because we're about to begin, and then okay, we're about to just make it happen, you know. Or I mean, don't log off with this one. Keep it fun, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. All right. I'm gonna mute everybody now. And we're gonna get started because it is 7:06, and I know everybody wants to go outside and play. If you did not play already, right? So let's see what happens here. All right. Welcome everybody to the Can't Quarantine Creativity Cashraiser. My name is Steve Ortiz-Lucen. I'm the founder of Support Creativity. And this here is a very fun project that we decided to do because we've been quarantined for the past, 2.5 months or so. And we wanted to get the juices going, get the creative juices going. So we at Support Creativity, we have an amazing community of creatives. Since 2013, we've been awarding scholarships to passionate creatives going to college and grad school. So what I decided to do along with the board of directors at Support Creativity is to contact past scholarship recipients, say what's up, make sure that them and their loved ones are good and all this madness is going on. And I said, let's get together and do something creative, right? Let's come up with a project. And I've been invited to an exquisite corpse once upon a time, and didn't really follow through with it. And then I planted the seed, with the board of directors, and we were like, you know what, let's learn it, let's do it, and let's see what happens. And so, what an exquisite corpse is, it's a collaborative piece of artwork, and this piece of with specific rules. So our rule was to create a piece of artwork in a square frame, in a square canvas, and then just pass on to the next artist a like 1 inch of the right side of the piece. So the next artist just sees a little sliver of the art piece, and then they would need to go ahead and do the art piece on top of it, be inspired by it, take it, remix it, do their square piece, right? And then once they're done with their square piece, take their right side inch, pass it to the next artist, and go down the line, go down the line. And so right here in this room, we are in this gallery with a long piece of artwork you see that is covered in a blue curtain. And that's because this piece actually ended up being a 7x1 piece, pretty much, right? It's 7 artists involved, 7 creatives, plus a video editor or filmmaker who documented part of the process. So as we were creating the piece, we screen recorded ourselves, we talked about it, and that's what we're going to be revealing over here is the actual whole piece. So I did want to mention that this is a support creativity cash raiser. It's a fundraiser, right? We are fundraising for the support creativity scholarships. Every year we give out scholarships, like I mentioned, to passionate creators going to college and grad school. And this year, I think they need it more than ever, right? Like we've been in this quarantine, in this pandemic, and it's been a roller coaster ride for all of us. I know it has been. So, especially when it comes to money and people losing their jobs and people not being able to understand what's going on in the next month, in the next semester. School still costing an arm and a leg. College, universities costing a whole lot. We at Support Creativity, we still felt that it was necessary to not pause our activities. Continue moving forward, continue doing what we're here to do, and that is serve our creative community. And the way we serve it, or one of the ways that we serve it, is by fundraising amongst our community, gathering some funds, gathering some money, and awarding scholarships. And we tend to award the scholarship at the middle towards the end of the summer. So end of July, early August, we typically host an art award show, and that's where we give out the scholarship to to the top 3 or so recipients. Now this year we've received over 500 applications. So after this event this week, we're going to start reading applications, and I'll talk more about that a little bit later. But to say to move along, the people that were involved are right on the bottom, or right underneath me, right on the bottom of the curtains, right? And we have Sarah Cardenas. She's a 2013 recipient. She's actually one of the first 2 recipients of the Support Creativity Scholarship. We have Danny Ramirez, 2015 recipient. Isanel Torres, also 2015 recipient. Fernando Garcia, he received it in 2016. Christine Stoddard received it in 2018. Beth Moody, 2019. But in this piece, we've also involved 2 board members, and that is Alex Gonzalez. He is on the board of directors for Support Creativity, and myself, Steve Ortiz-Lucen, the founder of Support Creativity. So we kicked it off with this piece, and I'm about to show you the documentation video that Danny Ramirez put together. So what was interesting is that Danny Ramirez is a filmmaker, right? And it's like, okay, an exquisite corpse is an art piece. It's creative, but then how do we incorporate film into this? And then that's where we came about in screen recording ourselves and kind of doing that. So I'm about to go ahead and play that video, and let's check it out and let me know what you think when it's done.
Oh.
And we've got our first snafu. Do you guys hear it?
No, we see you.
Parts of it, right?
Nope.
I'm
not
seeing
yet.
like a Google search.
Like
But
flashes of
maybe
it.
it's playing slow.
Yeah, the video's like not playing right.
Yeah. Interesting.
That was the
Wondering
one
why.
thing there were no issues with this whole
I
time.
know, right? The
This-
video
this
was like
played-
awesome.
This played right the entire time.
Okay, let's see what's going on here.
Oh no.
I know, right?
I'm gonna just blame Fernando just because it's fun. You know.
Let me come back over here.
There we go.
Are we back here in the gallery?
Yep.
All right. What's going on here? I love technology when it works, and I also love it when it doesn't work. All right, let's take a look here. Let's try this one more time. We'll go ahead and transition in. No, it's not playing. Wow, the one thing that worked every time. That's so interesting. Bear with me. In the meantime, are we back here in the room?
We are back in the room.
Ooh. All right, let's see. Ah. What about this over here? Can you guys still hear me? See me?
Yes.
Yeah.
I can hear.
Yes,
I'm
sir.
here. I'm here in the room. In the room.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Cool. Let's see if we could go into here. Oh wow. Is it because there's a lot of action happening on the stream? No way. No way. There's nothing else going on. Wow. Let me take a look here. Can you guys hear this?
Yeah.
Ooh. We playing over here. We vibing.
Five
We
minutes.
vibing.
Smooth sounds.
Well, now you all know what it's like to be a filmmaker. Nothing ever
Yep.
goes.
Yep. That's certainly true.
Yeah.
That's certainly true. Nothing. You always got to debug and figure things out and see like why these things go on. Let's take a look over here. I show you. In the meantime, while I try and figure this out, Alex, how about you here, I'm gonna spotlight you. How about you let us know your involvement with Support Creativity?
Oh man. I've been around for a while. I've actually known about the Support Creativity Project since its inception. I remember Steve sitting down, and he had this young student he was mentoring, and he just wanted to give him money, but he wanted to make it a little bit more substantial, a little more valuable than just giving him some cash out of his pocket. So he asked me one day, like, "Hey man, let's start this scholarship project and just kind of see where it goes." And I was like, "All right, well, I'm here. If you need help, so let's go." And at first, it didn't start off as Support Creativity. We had a different name in the beginning, but it's evolved, and it's been a pretty crazy project ever since. We've picked up some really good folks along the way, and and by picking up good folks, I mean we've picked up some really good people who want to help take Support Creativity to the next level, as well as pick up and sort of help a lot of the scholarship recipients. I think one of the things that attracted me the most to this whole entire project was the fact that Steve didn't want to just give money and let people go. He wanted to sort of create this community, and that's kind of where this project sort of came from. We were able to do this project because of the community that was built. And so over the years, as you can see, these recipients we span a good amount of maybe like 6 or 7 years. And I think that's pretty dope. I'm not seeing a lot of organizations kind of doing that. Building community was a really big thing from the very beginning, and it's something that we hold true till now. And this project actually was probably one of the best projects that I've been working on with Sport Creativity, because we were able to collab with everybody's artistic abilities, and techie abilities, because we've been debugging for a week now, and obviously it didn't work well. I'm just kidding. It worked out fabulous.
Yeah. So I'm just gonna go ahead and try and play it.
Go.
And let's see if it works. And if it doesn't, then we're gonna reveal this exquisite corpse ASAP. And yeah, I don't know why it's super.
I'm not getting any audio.
I'm not getting the audio either. Yeah, it's crazy.
Danny, we're just gonna let you know that this worked every single time from the beginning. You were never.
Yeah, it worked every single time. It went awesome every single time. And it played beautifully. We all chuckled at the end because it was like, oh, such a cute video. But we're gonna have to drop that in the timeline for the next one then. And then what we're gonna do here is just go ahead and transition to the actual reveal over here. And that is right here, the exquisite corpse. Ta-da! What's yeah, what do you
So dope.
Beautiful.
Now this whole piece right here it was like, yeah, like we were saying, it was so interesting to take a look at it and really figure out, because it was hard to explain to the students, and then I started it off, right? So I needed to understand what it is that the theme. Well, first of all, we had to come up with the theme, and the theme was can't quarantine creativity, right? So it's like, okay, how do we start and do this over here? It's me. I started designing as a flyer designer, right? Like I would do party flyers. So that's how a lot of my designs look. They're very explosive. There's a lot of colors, a lot of energy going on. And so because I knew Alex was the next person involved, I kind of just alley-ooped it to him, or, felt that we were gonna do something together. And so it was like, I created something and we needed to figure out how to show it off. So over here, as you can see, we put it on a truck. Now, why would we put this piece of artwork on a truck? Now, Alex and I, we have road tripped to many different places together. We go way back in the college days, and him and I, we've always dreamed of having like an RV, right? And being able to just go places and project out of there, do art out of the RV, travel all over. And so when I created this piece and me and him were brainstorming, we were like, yeah, let's just try and see and mock it up and put it on the truck over here. And so that's what we did. But then, as you can see, my piece is super explosive. It starts with, on the bottom left corner, some yellow tape that says, do not cross, quarantine. So my idea here was, okay, that tape is trying to keep creativity from exploding, and the creativity is just exploding. It's not being, you can't quarantine it, right? So the way I approached it was by downloading and researching lots of different flyers that I've done already, that I'm searching for some elements online and just combining a lot of different things. And then I passed it on to Alex, right? So then Alex, when I passed it on to you, what was it that you thought would be, what was going through your mind when I passed it on to you? And how did you come up with what are these, soda cans? These juices?
Yeah, there's some creative juice. So I didn't know what was gonna happen. I had no idea. I was trying to develop an idea in my head before you giving me a sliver, and it was impossible because I had to work off of what you gave me. So I knew, even if I thought about, I don't know, so many ideas were going through my head, and I was like, let me just wait until I see something. And then once you gave me your piece, of course, I thought, well, this guy's an animal. What should I do with this? I don't know what to do with this. It really took me like a good night or two to just like sit down and understand like where I'm good and what I like to do with the art. And so I love photoshopping. I love creating fake products. And you know, I'm the guy in the chat room that if you send a picture of you in your living room and you have frames on your wall, I'm gonna change every single frame into something stupid and send it back to the chat. You know, like that's me. Um, so in this case, I was just trying to create a product that maybe we all needed during the quarantine, and being on Instagram and seeing both sides of the world, my creative people being really creative and then some people being really bored during the quarantine. I thought maybe we should all use a little dose of some creative juice. And so I went on and found my own mock-ups of some cans and created the juice there. And you know, I had some fun making the little details of it, but in essence, it was like, I think this is what we need during quarantine. We all need to sip on a little creative juice and just kind of let loose, you know? And so that's kind of how I put it all together.
Awesome, awesome. So, and then you see here a little bit of the next artist piece. Now, we gave an opportunity to showcase this particular artist in a different way, right? So we're going to drive this truck to somewhere else, and hopefully this truck is going to take us to outside of the future support creativity building center. So one of the dreams, one of the visions, or yeah, the ultimate dream is to have a support creativity center where we could bring artists, creatives, past scholarship recipients, mentors, you know, and just the community, bring them all together and have workshops that will supplement the education that you get in college or grad school, potentially even replacing this education, right? So we can have workshops of computer labs. We can have paint studios, painting studios, and give everybody who is part of the community some space in here to create, to learn, and ideal situation, absolutely at a crazy low cost. You know, I wanted this to be available to the community. I truly believe that we should not charge an arm and a leg for education. It's one of the main reasons why we started to support creativity. But enough about me. On this artwork, we have Fernando Garcia. He did win the scholarship back in 2016. And we also have Beth Moody. So I'd like to pass it on to Fernando. And maybe you can tell us a little bit about what was going through your head when you were given this this exquisite corpse.
All right. Hi everyone. My name is Fernando. Um, so when I was presented this, well, I was excited, you know, because it was something new. I'd never done it before, at least like at this scale, you know. Usually, you know, if I've done something similar, it's been like in doodles, you know, paper, but this was a little bit next level. Um, and I mean, not being able to quarantine creativity is like it's big, and definitely I lived it. And so um, my art in on different levels, it can be structured or be very loose. And I think the funnest, the best times that when I'm making art is when it's loose and just whatever comes out of my mind just comes out. And then as I'm going, the story develops. So when I thought of the theme, you know, I thought of, you know, you can't stop, won't stop, which is the text that is there. And then I have some characters, which a lot of my art is very animated and a lot of characters and bright colors. So that's what you can see there, and you know, some influences of you know, the COVID with the mask on the P right there uh, on stop. And yeah, it's just really free and very me, very goofy. A lot of me, I guess. Yeah.
So, so let me ask you this, Fernando, because I had a very interesting time knowing that I was getting a piece from an artist. I was creating something, and then I then had to give it to somebody, right? So it's like it wasn't an isolated piece. Did that affect you at all? And what did you think about what you got, and then knowing that you were giving it to somebody else? Like, did that play into anything?
Like restricting, you mean?
Or just, in the thought process, like, were you thinking about, oh man, I got to give this to somebody, or like knowing that I gave you something to work off of, how did that influence your artistic decision making?
Um, well, sometimes like at the beginning, there's like a little bit of fear, but then I'm like, wait a minute, just have fun with it. I feel like that's the most important part. Just have fun with it, be free. And I've been doing art for so long that it's like, to switch that fun gear, it's easy now. Like, hey, this is fun. Just go with it, and just as it goes, it goes. And so that's my answer.
Nice, nice, nice. All right. And then Beth is not here, correct? We're not making sure we're not missing her.
Yeah, Beth
Right.
is it's the future time where she's at, so it's wee hours in the morning, so she's not able to make it right now.
So Beth won the scholarship in 2019. She's an artist and muralist, and we had, because she's in the future, it created a little bit of a interesting situation here for this project. But I think all the challenges made this project what it is, and I think it made it so dope. But as you can see, she kind of took what Fernando gave and then added her style to it. Wish she was here to give us more about it, but we can add that later. Follow us on Instagram. We'll give that to you.
I would love to know where her head went.
Yeah,
See her
That's
too.
head.
that's like the question of the ever since we got it, we're like, whoa, where's her head? What's going on over here? So
Yeah.
Interesting.
maybe we could follow up and yeah, just ask her. Like I could we could have another separate Zoom, and we could ask her about it and then post that up on our Instagram, so you'll be able to see it and get that perspective from her. How does that sound?
Yeah.
Sounds awesome.
Neat. Alex, so I'm gonna put it back on you. Uh, remember we were creating this and we were mocking all this up, right? Like, how tell us a little bit about that process.
So, I mean, the mock-ups in general. So what we noticed was with the big piece was that it sort of chopped itself up just based on sort of style and colorways. And so this happens to be its own little segment. And because we got to know the artist so well throughout the application process, the scholarship process, and then throughout this process, we understand that both of these artists are muralists, and they just want to be on walls. And and as a muralist, as an artist, the bigger the wall, the kind of better it strokes the ego, right? It's what you want, right? And so when we were thinking about creating this mock-up, we found this really big wall, and it sort of coincided with the idea of this Future Support Creativity Center. And we just fell in love with the idea, and we loved playing with it. So this not only tickled sort of the muralist aspect of it, but it also kind of fed into like how Steve and I wanted to like manipulate the image and showcase it and really give light to what the artwork stands for and who the artists are, But it was fun. It was challenging. It took us a while, but I'm very happy with how this one turned out.
Awesome. And then so on the bottom right, what was that say? Donate once or monthly? Can you let us know what's up with that?
So if you guys don't know what Guardians of Creativity are, Guardians of Creativity are individuals who are monthly donors who help support creativity, do all these events, and fund some of the scholarships. So the money goes into all our programming and all of our scholarships. And so donating once also helps. Both of those options are available for you on WeSupportCreativity.org/quarantine creativity CQCC. And if you're interested in sort of supporting and seeing more of this happen and joining more of our events, or even just helping a creative student just get to that next step, whatever it may be for them, help us out, donate a little bit or a lot of bit, and we'll appreciate every little bit that you give us.
Or a lot of it.
Or a lot of it.
So let's go to the next scene, which is probably around the corner to get to it. Right maybe you're taking the train over there.
Oh.
Okay, we came to the same spot. Maybe we're taking the train over there, and once everything gets all cleaned up. But I'd like to pass it on to Macho to sort of introduce this one over here.
Yeah, thank you, Steve. This is one of my favorite collection of pieces when we're thinking about putting this together. I like the nature that's evoked in there. And just to give a super quick introduction to me, I'm one of the directors on the board of directors for Support Creativity, and the way that I got connected to Support Creativity was through our fraternity and fraternity brothers with Steve and with Alex. And the artist from the first piece also has a connection to our fraternity. So, Steve and Alex mentioned with their truck piece, there were a lot of road trips back in the day to a bunch of different schools. And one of those road trips was in 2015 to Johnson and Wales University, where our first artist in this piece received a scholarship from Support Creativity. And one of the founding hermanos from that chapter, Manny Gomez, was really instrumental in helping us select the recipients for the scholarship. And unfortunately, Manny passed away from COVID-19 earlier this year. And so we wanted to just take a second to acknowledge his contributions to Support Creativity and let him know that, his legacy as he looks down on us is still a big part of the artist community. And so the first artist here is Isanel Torres. I don't think she's on. I think I saw her on earlier. Maybe she jumped back in. Is she here? No. Okay. So that's another, right?
Yeah, I don't see her.
Okay. Just double checking.
Okay.
But that's another artist. She's very politically involved, a muralist, and put this beautiful first third together here. But our second artist, Sarah, is here with us. She's our 2013 recipient, one of the original recipients of our scholarship fund. And she's a fashion designer who's gearing up to start her own business. And so I wanted to take a second to ask Sarah, tell us a little bit about what your original piece was and what the process was to get it involved into this larger Exquisite Corpse project.
Okay. Well, hello, everybody. My name is Sarah, and I'm the founder of Star Lily Designs, which will be up in about a month or two. So stay tuned. And then, I don't know how to do any graphic design. I did some during college, but after I graduated, I didn't buy the software, and I focused on learning my craft, basically gaining experience with industrial sewing machines and techniques, to make clothes, high quality clothes. And so last year I was making samples for Star Lily Designs, and I got kind of bored. I was like, I kind of want to make something different. So I bought 3 rolls of mesh, and I started making a vest. I hot glued it all together. I couldn't use the machine because the holes were way too big to stick it together, And so I made the vest last summer, and my mom saw me making it. She's like, "What is that for?" I'm like, "I don't know. I just want to make a costume kind of thing." And she's like, "Okay." And so, the COVID-19 happened. And then when Steve asked me to be part of a project, I thought about the vest, and I was like, "Oh my gosh, this is what I'm going to use. I just need to add something to it." And the first thing that came to my mind were the wings. And it was a really special project or experience because my dad helped me spray paint the wings, and he was never supportive of me doing fashion design. So I took a picture of him painting it, and it was a good feeling, And then while while Steven and Alex helped me do the graphic design, incorporate my pictures into my own piece, they asked me why I made wings, and I didn't have the answer. So I meditated past couple days, and like I asked myself, why is it that every now and then I make wings as a project? Why are wings so significant to me? And I realized that wings to me represent dreams and goals, and um, and I think it's important to never let anybody, uh, clip your wings off, clip your goals off, or just um, because of the challenges you face or rejections you might face, or the no's you might hear. And that's about it. Yeah.
It's awesome. Thank you. And one last question for you. I've heard that you've been remaining creative and during this quarantine. Can you talk to us a little bit about some of the projects and what you've shared with the support creativity community?
Well, like recent projects or the ones I'm working on right now?
What you mailed out to me.
Oh yeah! Oh my gosh! Oh, I almost forgot. I had a brain fart. Okay. I was like, what are you talking about? Okay. So when COVID-19 began, I decided to start making masks for people I knew first, like families and friends. So I mailed out like 20 to 30 masks to each state where I had friends. So I sent masks to Washington State, to California, New York, and I made some for my local, like people where I live around here locally. And yeah, so I ended up sending some to New York, and then I made masks for friends and coworkers in Arizona. And yeah. I made about like 200 masks, I think.
Wow.
And some of them I donated. I think at least half I donated. And then the other half I got paid. I was like, a little donation wouldn't hurt. And yeah, it went to my business to make a logo. And so yeah, it paid off. It was nice.
That's beautiful. We're definitely all about supporting local artists, and I want you guys to keep an eye out. Merch may be dropping from this project, so keep an eye on our website, and maybe you'll see a mask, maybe you'll see some pieces of art. But if you're interested, definitely drop us a line. We support creativity.org. And with that, I want to move on to our next artist, Christine Stoddard. She's a 2018 recipient and a multi-talented artist. So give me a second as I run through just a small piece of her resume. She is the author of Heaven is a Photograph, photography and poetry book. She's a fine artist. She directed and shot a short film titled Bottled, and is currently in post-production on a feature film called Serena's Gallery. So Christine, thank you so much for your contribution here, and just tell us a little bit about what was going through your mind as you did this.
Yeah, of course. First of all, thank you to everyone for logging on tonight. Thank you for Steve and Alex and everyone on the board, all of the guardians, everyone involved in the organization. I was really excited about this project. I have done Exquisite Corpse before. I think like Steve was saying, it's often like a party game. You might not always follow through to the end. Usually it's something that's just done on a scrap piece of paper and people are doodling, having fun. It's not something that's bam, wow, big and gorgeous. So with this, I was really inspired by Sarah's vibrant nature and color, like very colorful designs. So I was looking through some of my paintings. I try and take a lot of photos of all my paintings, especially if I know I'm going to sell them or they're going to go on display somewhere permanently and I might never get them back. So I had this one tree woman painting, this is what I call it. The original one is tissue paper and acrylic, and it has 3 trees with these big mouths on them. And it just felt like it belonged in this world with the nature that I saw in Sarah's panel. So I started looking at the photos I've had of that painting, bringing them into Photoshop, adding different layers and paint and pulling from Sarah's design, or I guess what Steve and Alex had helped her put together with the graphics. Yeah, and just adding to that natural, vibrant, colorful world that she had started.
Awesome.
That's awesome. Can you tell us a little bit about what the biggest challenge was for you as you approached this?
I mean, really just working off of somebody else's design, because when I do collaborate, it's usually for books and films. It's not normally for fine art or design projects. If it's a design project, it's a client project, and there's usually a very clear intention. It's not so much about creativity, it's more about meeting certain marketing and other corporate goals. Yeah, so just looking at what was there and how I could contribute, using the skills that I have, and also kind of matching my aesthetic without taking away from my aesthetic.
Awesome, great. That's beautiful. And so again, this was one of my favorite pieces. I'm glad I got to introduce this. And I just want to, remind everyone on this live stream and in the Zoom room again, we're doing this to build a community. If you can, please donate. We support creativity.org/CQCC. You'll see some donate buttons there. You can scroll down and be a guardian of creativity by pledging to give a monthly donation. And it's a beautiful thing. Oh, look at that. We got it up on the screen. I didn't even notice. Thank you so much.
Yeah, we rise by lifting others. It's been quite, all of this entire organization would not have been possible without the community that we are all in, that we have been building together. Like, it was literally an idea that I had. When I established my business in 2012, I was doing pretty well, and I was like, okay, let me save $100 a month, and in a year I'll be able to give $1,000 to somebody. And now, fast forward to today, since 2013, we've awarded over $35,000 in scholarships to our community. And so, the goal is to one day to be able to award full rides. Education shouldn't cost you anything. So, whatever you can, any donations would definitely be welcomed. Again, right on the .org that Macho mentioned, right there on the screen. We support creativity.org/CQCC, and becoming a guardian that helps us sustain the scholarship throughout the year. And it just starts at $10 a month. So any further contributions would be super appreciated. And I know, as you can see, everybody here who has participated, these past scholarship recipients have been very grateful and appreciative. And look at them, they're all growing their wings. They're all expanding, and they're all doing their thing. So I'm really proud of them. And I absolutely love the community that we've been building here. And I invite you all to join this community with us if you are not part of it right now. And so that being said, I have a couple other, no, I heard something.
Yeah. How about let's pull Danny in.
Yeah, Danny.
I know we didn't get to see the video, but that video was pretty cool, and I kind of want to know where your head was at with this entire thing, and like how you felt about it moving forward.
I think the most interesting thing to me, so a few of the people actually took time lapses of them doing it, and a few other people actually kind of talked about what they were thinking based on what they had received. So I was really intrigued on like Alex, when he got Steve's, he's like, I got this super crazy complicated background. I think I'm going to make up a product to go with it. It was such a random connection, but the way he talked about it was just really cool. It was really creative, right? And I mean, I loved just the intricacies that went into creating the product. It's like, it says 1000% super artificial flavors or something like that.
Yeah.
And I just thought it was so cool. And then, going then to, Sarah and her whole breakdown, talking about the wings and about how she just wanted to fly away from COVID. you know, all those things were pretty interesting to me of how they all kind of connected together. And, but just also just regarding the scholarship too, I just wanted to say how much the scholarship is a big deal to the people who receive it. And so, you know, it's not just the, you know, the $2,000 or the $1,000 or however much it is. It's, you know, not paying back the interest, and also just having the freedom to pursue the career you actually want. I mean, half of my friends from film school have so much debt, they're not even in the film industry anymore because they can't start on the bottom and do it because they can't afford to. And so it's like, why did they even go to film school? And so it's a big deal. So if you can donate because it helped me a ton, you know, just getting this. So, but it was awesome to be a part of this. Hopefully you can post the video to Instagram or something and people can see it.
Yeah,
So.
we certainly will. And that video will not go unseen. So
It's okay.
yeah, for sure. We appreciate you. Have a couple other mock-ups that we created over here to kind of take a little bit of more of a closer look or see them in just other scenarios. Like this is right here. Let's say if this was outside the Jacob Javits Center or something, you know, you can't quarantine creativity, putting the whole piece together. Again, I'm just really super proud of this piece and how we came up with it. I've never been part of something like this, and I think we did a pretty good job in putting it all together. So then, and there's another one over here of it in Highway. I think it was very challenging to find places where a super long piece of artwork can go. And then, of course, if how we typically know where artwork should go is inside of a home, right? Like this is another mock-up of a close-up of the first two artists, and this is like inside of a different place. I don't know, just in front of a TV or something in the living room. Have a couple other bonus ones over here. Another close-up of Fernando's and Beth's. Let's say if it was outside of one of the walls of a on the other side of the Support Creativity Center, right? Super fun putting all of these together. Let me see what else I got over here. Oh, another close-up of the three combo. And we decided to do this because we also saw when you kind of looked at the piece as a whole, it kind of had these little separations, right? The first two, the second two, and the last three. So kind of makes sense over here. And you can see in the back over there, I don't know if you see the Support Creativity zigzags of that building over there. They must be all filled with guardians of creativity. And can't forget that you can become a guardian of creativity by just donating on wesupportcreativity.org/CQCC. And with that, if there's any other, I'd like to open it up. We have just a couple more minutes. It's 7:50. I do want to let you guys all go and go with the rest of your evening. But if there are any other questions that maybe from the participants in the Zoom or on the YouTube stream, if you have any questions for the artists, I'd like to open that up as we finish off this virtual art show. So I also want to say putting this together was a brain buster. Like it's like, how do you bring an art show to a Zoom room, you know? And it was very, very challenging to say the least. But I think we pulled it off. You know, we were able to present it in a way that we thought would be very cool and neat. But if you have any questions, drop them in the chat, or even raise your hand in the Zoom, and we can spotlight you over here in the gallery.
You have a question in the chat?
Yes.
I would like to know what were everyone's artistic influences growing up. So who wants to take that first?
Everyone's artistic influence growing up.
Yeah. I say run it backwards from the piece. So start with Christine and then Sarah and then come back to
sounds
us.
Good.
Okay, sure. I mean, it was definitely a wide range of influences in my household. My mom is from El Salvador, and my dad is American, Scottish American. So I learned a lot about different kinds of Latin American and European, and of course, American art. My dad is a filmmaker, he's a documentary cameraman. So there was also a lot of exposure to different kinds of mass media and journalism, including advertising, and just looking at the design and the colors, the packaging, everything that goes into things that we see every day and might not necessarily consider art, but there's still a lot of aesthetic attention there. Um, yeah, I mean, I like some of my favorite artists, even since I was a kid, were Frida, of course, Sally Mann, the photographer. Um, Definitely like Van Gogh. All the squiggly lines, but also a lot of children's book illustrators too. Eric Carle was one of my
Oh
favorites as
yeah.
a kid. Yeah, that's all for now.
Sarah?
All right. So, growing up, my childhood was in California, and my mom used to live with my uncle and aunt. So, my cousins were like 15 at the time, and I was like 5 or 6. And I remember his friends would come over, and they would remix music like Tupac with Vicente Fernandez, and I thought
What?
it was the coolest thing ever. I was like, wow, this is amazing. And then I was exposed to a lot of music genres like Eminem and like Slipknot, and like it was crazy. But I like all the music, even though the Slipknot one kind of scared me sometimes. And then I used to dance folklorico, so Mexican tap dancing. So I was definitely inspired by that, by dancing. And then also, sometimes when I watched telenovelas with my mom, I remember there was this one telenovela called Alguna vez tendremos alas, which means one day we'll have wings. And I didn't know what the heck the telenovela was about, but I loved hearing the intro, which was like, it was an orchestra playing like, I don't know. I just loved to hear the music in the intro. And I remember thinking that was like the most beautiful sound I've ever heard. And yeah, so it definitely influenced me into like playing trumpet for 4 years during high school. I was the only girl with a group of guys, like 10 guys. And then after that, like my mom wanted me to be a nurse, and I tried it, but I saw like a dead carcass for one of my tests, and I was like, nope, this isn't for me. I'm just gonna something creative, and that's where I went. That's how I ended up in fashion design.
Awesome. Isanel, are you around? I kind of see you in the chat, but I know you're out doing a good deed
Yes.
out there. So no worries if you're not there. If you're not, then the next artist is Beth. Beth is also in the future, so she can't come. She can't come back to the past. And then before that, oh, it's Fernando. Fernando, you're up.
So my influences, well, obviously, if you look at my stuff, you can see like cartoons and stuff like that. But I guess after high school, I was always into art, but after high school, I really went to community college, and that's where my love for art like really blossomed. Around that time, I was also introduced to graffiti. So I was introduced to formal art, like fine art. So I went to school for fine art, and around that same time, I was introduced to friends that were doing graffiti. So I met these two worlds together, and so graffiti and street art really influenced me early on in my creative beginnings. Cartoons. I mean, I've always liked cartoons. Most of us we grow up watching cartoons, but now that's been more incorporated into my work. Um, I think since the beginning, it's been there, and yeah, it just reflects me. My goofiness, but if you check out my Instagram page, it has goofiness, it has graffiti, but there are also like a somewhat of uh, more serious toned art there. Um, but yeah, my influences, I guess, would be fine art that I grew up um, learning in school, community college, and graffiti and cartoons. I love animated stuff. I'm actually going that direction a little bit as well.
Awesome. Can we get Danny up? What was your influences growing up?
If I don't drop my computer. So I grew up. My dad is a filmmaker. Like he worked on this Big Trouble in Little China. My grandpa is a visual effects artist. He worked on Empire Strikes Back. So I very much grew up in that world of Hollywood films. And so my influences for sure were, the big boys there, like Steven Spielberg, Peter Jackson, George Lucas. I remember I met Peter Jackson while I was going to USC, and I almost, fanboyed way too hard because he was one of my huge, his Lord of the Rings trilogy was a huge influence on me. And so, but now, it's become, I'm definitely just so really story driven when it comes to filmmaking. And I love Christopher Nolan now. And so a lot of people say I sell out by liking these big filmmakers, but those are the ones that influence me, and I love it. It makes me happy.
Good. Next up is Alex. Where'd you go? I don't see you in the chat no more. Oh, Alex, are you gone?
We lose Alex. Okay.
We lost Alex. Interesting. All right, well, I'll go. Let me spotlight myself. I'm over here. Boom. So my influences growing up, I'm not well, it was definitely video games, cartoons, right? For me specifically was Sonic the Hedgehog. One of my first, I guess, thought out pieces was learning how to draw Sonic the Hedgehog, right? And even trying to create, I think when Sonic 2 or Sonic 3 came out, I was trying to come up with Sonic 4, like the storyline for that and like how that would come about. Love video games, Super Mario Brothers are still a big thing around for me. I am influenced by that. I think still to this day, because it also just reminds me of a time when everything was very, I don't know, different, very serene, very nice, no worries at all. And I guess like throughout high school, my teachers were awesome. Like one of the people that influenced me was my ceramics teacher. I mean, really, really the way he approached teaching, it was just very warm and welcoming. And it's like that those are the type of people that I am attracted to, and those are the type of people that I want to attract, right? So I took a lot of how he approached, teaching and try and do that with how I teach others. So in terms of once I graduated high school, going into college, I fell in love with Photoshop just because I was able to create many different things. So I remember my fraternity brothers asking me to design a party flyer. And I think I mentioned this earlier too, right? That's how I started designing. I downloaded Photoshop. I remember staying until up 5 a.m, just playing around with it, trying to cut things out, collage things together. And ever since then, I've just been trying to learn, trying to level up, trying to keep stepping the game up. And now I'm very heavily influenced by I would say experience design or concerts. I definitely love stage designs and how a lot of techno raves look nowadays. Very, very elaborate designs, lasers, and visuals. In fact, because of that, I VJ often, right? And I even showed Alex how to VJ, and now me and him are coming up with a VJ sort of service, or we're just doing that for fun, right? And so in terms of that community, I see Beeple. He goes by Beeple Crap on Instagram. Lots of 3D heavy lights and stuff, and I still implement that into my artwork right now. When I say artwork, I say my designs. So
I'm back.
it is.
Sorry, I got cut off. My bad.
Oh, Alex.
I'm back. Yeah,
Awesome.
special
Awesome.
guest.
Special
I
guest
got a special
appearance.
guest. Yeah, she hit the surge protector, and so my Wi-Fi went down.
Awesome, Alex. What was your influence growing up?
Oh man, so I didn't start. Okay, I'm gonna give her away.
What's her name?
Her name is Gabriella, but we call her Gigi.
Oh, hi, Gigi.
Saying hi.
So cute.
She wants something that's behind me. So I didn't start designing until a lot later in life, and I didn't. It's crazy. I never really had to answer this question, but what I noticed that I include in my art a lot is a lot of just funny stuff. Like that's always where I want to take my art. It's always funny, which is even my mock-up now was all. The whole can is just supposed to be funny. And I got that from listening to a lot of stand-up comedians growing up. I used to listen to them and never watch them, so I had to make up my own imagery in my head. And so some of my favorite stand-up comedians are Dave Chappelle and John Leguizamo, specifically. Those two are some of my favorites. And they're just so explicit in how they create their worlds and their imagery, and that's something that I always, I kind of always keep in mind when I design. I always try to kind of take it to that sort of these wacky worlds, and that's kind of where I like to be. So that's kind of where I take my art from. Kind of where I like to live.
You also do merch. So can you mention a little bit about the merch that we may be doing for Support Creativity?
I have no idea about the merch that we're going to be doing. I just know it's going to be really cool when it does get done. I think, so if you guys don't know, I do a lot of printing. I do a lot of printing of shirts. I do a lot of printing on aluminum and a bunch of different other mediums. And one thing throughout this process was thinking about how can we sort of put these on something and sort of give them to people so they can showcase and sort of appreciate. And so some of the things in mind we're thinking about are some dog tags potentially, or some aluminum prints to put on your wall, or maybe on a shirt or a bag. It'll come down to the creative process of sort of thinking with the artist and with the board and kind of seeing where each thing kind of fits sort of naturally, kind of like what we did to curate the show and sort of picking sort of different imagery for each art is going to be the sort of same process with the merch. So I don't know, but I do know it's going to look really clean when it does come out. I could tell you that much.
Always.
Sounds good to me. So I'm going to try to play Danny's video one more time.
Please play it.
If it doesn't work, then I don't deserve to be a video tech of any sort. So let's see. I'm just gonna share my whole desktop, see what's up, and then play and make sure that we got the share computer sound on. And let's see what happens here. Yeah, hear this? See this?
The idea is to take a background and mash them into each other with some like funky transition in between. I really don't know what to do with Steve's background. It's pretty dope. Well, it's not a background. It's the little sliver. It's about to be my background.
This is just for you to be inspired, for us to continue on in creating.
I like that you can see the wings in some, and in the others, I'm opening my arms, fly away somewhere. Like, I don't want to hear COVID no more.
I know what I want to do. A piece of advertisement for a fake product that I'm also going to create.
Oh, cool.
Now we're getting crazy.
I became really like imaginative. It helped my creativity, you know?
Yay. Yes. Yes. Can I get a round of applause just for all the artists up in here? I really appreciate each and every one of you. Thank you so much.
Danny was meant to close us off.
Yeah, Danny was meant to close us off. So that being said,
the arts themselves, guys.
So that being said, thank you so much for attending this Can't Quarantine Creativity Cashraiser. Again, we support creativity.org/CQCC. Link is in the bio of all of our accounts at Support Creativity. Speaking of links, in the chat, I saw that people were asking for their Instagram accounts. So make sure to just drop those in the link so that people in the chat can follow you guys. Put your website, your Instagrams, and all of that. And with that being said, I'd like to thank all of you. I really appreciate it. I hope everybody stays safe and sound out there. Next week, we will be starting to read the applications for this year's scholarship recipients. And so we are going to be sending out emails for requests to help us read them. You know, typically we read them in my office, but now we're going to do it all virtual. So if you're interested in that, I'm actually going to throw something in the chat right now. It's wesupportcreativity.org/volunteer. And you could fill out that. Actually, somebody put it in there for me. wesupportcreativity.org/volunteer. We can fill out the form in there, and we'll get your information, and we'll follow up with you if you want to help us read some applications, just in case you can't donate. So there's many different ways to be part of the community and support creativity. It's not all just money. Your time is absolutely precious, and if you could give it to us to help somebody else in the future, to pay it forward, then we absolutely 100% appreciate it. With that being said, thank you so much, and I hope all of you have a good night. Again, take care, wash your hands, and
Thank you,
I'll see you
everyone.
very soon. Watch out for the Untitled Art Award show coming late summer. Until next time, peace.
Thank you, Steve.
Yes, sir.
Thank you.